What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another SLA video. All right, folks, we got ourselves a big one. You might be wondering, Payne, what the hell are you doing home? Well, my vacation got cut short. We went there, got into the hotel. Beautiful hotel, by the way. Shout out to the Westin. We were there for the day, and then we realized everything that we were there for was closed down until the next week. So, failure on our part. Our kids did have a fun time, but we decided, you know what, instead of sleeping on foreign beds, we're going to come back home and sleep here. Speaking of foreign, though, shout out to my man, DX9000. Now, if you don't know who DX9000 is, he is an Arabic content creator who figured out an incredibly awesome trick to help everybody out to gain their power even more than before. So we're going to share this little trick with you guys and how it works. I'm going to walk you guys through it, and it's going to hopefully benefit most of you guys. Now, there is going to be a little caveat here. For the most part, you may lose a little bit of power for your characters, but overall your power for combat power will grow quite substantially. So this is DX9000, again, Arabic content creator. Shout out to you, Habibi. I'm going to send people your way. Guys, make sure you like, subscribe. I've already done the same thing already myself. The video, I'm going to put this in my description. You guys can see I'm already subscribed. I always subscribe to anybody who's a content creator. And make sure, guys, you guys show this man some love. Most importantly here, this is crazy to me. Man's got over 9,000 things opened up on his PC without it blowing up. So that's pretty damn crazy. But again, thank you to Abdullah who shared this with me and everybody else who also shared. And shout out to everybody else who obviously got the message out. I was on vacation. I couldn't do this. I heard about this early last night. And I actually couldn't talk about it because I was already out of town. But here we are talking about it now. So I'm going to walk you guys through what this trick is. And then the following video, we're going to talk about what mythic blessing stone to choose on your account and why. I've already done the video. I might just recap that one for you guys because I don't think that's going to change in any way, shape, or form. But we will review it ourselves. Now, before I go any further, I want to remind everybody, content creator program is still going on. Click that support button, guys. Get yourself 2 codes currently. We have 1,000 essence stones for everybody, 500k gold, 1 mana power extract, plus 150 rune stones. Guys, it's super easy, or rune fragments, I should say. Click on the support, say yes. Once you get in, go to my page. Within the next few hours, you should see 2 codes waiting for you guys for you to use, especially as new supporters. Everyone who has already been existing as a supporter, thank you for your support. J Stowe, Connor, 144-170, DG, 731, T-Pro, Bond, Sod, and 475. Thank you guys so much for being in the top 10 currently, and we're probably going to see some names go up and down throughout the season. All right, guys, let's go over to the trick and talk to you guys about it. Now, this is not really a trick. It's more of a strategy. All right, I will say this. While you're doing this, it may alter the stats of some of your characters. I want to say a big disclaimer on that one. So some of your character stats may go down, but overall your combat power will increase. So your goal here is to inflate this, right? This power here in order to get it closer to the combat power when you're facing hard mode, etc. Right? This is going to be especially more important for free-to-play players and some of the smaller dolphins. So here's what happens. All right, you're going to sacrifice a little bit of your hunter power, okay, overall like stats, for your overall shadow increase. Now, how does this work? It's simple. It requires you to do the gem system. All right, so let's take a wild example here. Okay, let's go take a look at someone who's a I don't know, let's say attack spect. All right, we'll say Cha, for example, who has 26k 580. All right, so 26k 580. Let's put this down here. I'm gonna draw this out for you guys so it makes a little bit of sense. So let's say it's I was doing some testing earlier. So Cha light, we're gonna say light version. Total power, her total power right now is 290,761. Now, some of this may actually go up, some may go down. So we'll say attack. Well, I'm going to show you guys the attack version of it, okay? Attack is 26580. Now, as we're aware, our actual hunters benefit more from additional attack. Okay, now look, if you look at our shadow power is 475,034. 475. Sorry, again, I was doing the testing earlier to make sure it was working. 03, and it does. 034. And then our total BT was, how much was that? Let's go back here. Total power was 1820. Again, this is my free-to-play account, guys, so this is not my pay-to-win. 530. Okay, so this is how much this is going to benefit us. All right. So here's what you do: go into your gems, and essentially the trick is simple. You go in and you replace everything that is a flat to a percentage. That's simply the trick, guys. That is literally the trick. Now, I don't know if that's going to work the same way with speed, that's something I'm going to have to test out as well too. And if anyone has already done the testing, please let me know. But right now, the way this is working is you go into any of these stats, right, and you will alter the stat into a percentage. So for example, I don't have any additional defense ones or defense percentage ones that I can switch, but you'll take away your additional defense ones and you'll throw in a defense percentage. And what it'll do is it'll lower the total combat power for your account, but it'll increase the total power for your shadow army. So your hunters will lose. So for example, right, I've got 350 here. Let me find a lower one here. 350, 350. Let's see, this one here is 290. Okay, so 290. Let's say I want to get rid of this. So normally what would happen is I'm going to put the 4% in here. Is this amount would lower the combat power for my hunters. So if I click on this, you guys can see some hunters went down, right? And if I go back to Cha, right, you guys can see we were at, what were we at before? We were at 26580. Actually, this is a bad example. This one actually went up. So normally it would go down. This one actually went up. That's only because the additional attack I took off was weaker. Right? But if you have higher end ones, you'll notice the difference. Anyways, SJW went up. But more importantly, this is what ends up happening. Look at this. My shadow army went up. Now, I'm not sure why this is happening exactly. So my shadow army went from what I showed you guys before, right? It was from 475034 to 481677. So I'm going to put this in here, 481677. So not only did Cha go up just a tad bit, attack percentage, but for some reason, now the shadow army is also being affected, which I don't think was happening in the past. So I'm not sure whether the introduction of weapons has actually given these guys a little bit more power now with stats and the way that gems affect them. So, for example, if I go to Igris, right, you guys can see now he actually does have some power, right? This didn't exist before for these guys. So I'm not sure if these weapons are now affecting the gem stats as well too. So it looks like percentages are helping the shadow army grow. So if I go back to my total battle tier now, you guys can see my battle tier went up by almost, what was that, 6K? 6 whole K, 7K. Like now it's, hold on, what is this now? 1827173, 1827. Is it 1827? Sorry, I'm still sleepy. That's all, guys. 173. It's been a long freaking day for me. 5-hour drive. There you guys go. Look at that. One quick alteration. Now, this applies to all stats that are percentage-wise, okay? So if we're talking about battle, going back to gems here, if you change additional HP, for example, do I have one right here? Right, so if 290, if I change this to like one of the HP gems, it'll affect it, right? So anything you see here that has a flat percentage, you can now switch over to it has a flat, you can switch over to a percentage and it'll actually affect the way all of this works. Now I would imagine that this is also the case for healing given as well too. If you add a percentage for healing given, I bet you that would affect the total stats for everybody. The only one I'm not sure about is the speed, because speed does have a percentage. So I'm imagining that speed probably does the exact same thing. And right over here, I don't think defense penetration or precision will affect it, because again, these are all flat stats. So anything with a percentage will increase your total power. So guys, for those who are currently using additional defense, if you want to raise your power, right, in total, you're better off now, because the way it affects the shadow army is to go in and change everything to a percentage, and that will affect your total account. All right, folks, again, thank you to DX9000 for showing us this. This is an incredible thing to show, and I hope that you guys take advantage of it. I don't think they're going to actually nerf this. I don't think it's an actual nerf. I think it's just related to how weapons work for your shadows, and I think that's probably what's causing this. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.